Hey guys, Andrew here. Today I wanted to talk about why I'm doing the carnivore diet, how I got to that point, why I'm going to keep doing it, and also why I think others should at least try it as well, if not stick to it. So how I got to this point and what led me to it was from a point of desperation. One day I was at work and I was holding an impact driver in my hand and my wrist just gave out on me and I dropped it. I couldn't pick anything up. My wrist wasn't working. And then I was driving home from work. My left arm all the way up to my shoulders got numb. I felt like my arm wasn't there. And that scared me. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't go home. I went to urgent care. I sat there for like an hour. And then they said I'm diagnosed with carpal tunnel. So they told me for like 1 minute what I could do, gave me a brace, and gave me a phone number to schedule the surgery to go ahead and do some cuts to relieve the pain. My wrist would never be the same, but my pain, they said, would be a little better. So I wasn't going to do that, of course. So out of desperation, I started searching the internet, seeing what I could do to relieve that pain, because it was an immense pain and it obstructed me from my everyday life, made work very difficult. And then I stumbled upon some comments that carnivore diet had helped somebody. And I think throughout my scouring, I found 2 people total that it helped. And so at that point, I was willing to try anything. And so I tried it for a short period of time. And I got relief. I believe I was due to a lot of inflammation. And the carnivore diet reduces that. So I did it for a while. I first started off in keto to ease my way into it, low carb, and then I went full carnivore. And I did it for a while, and my wrists got better, both of them. And then eventually other foods started creeping back in, and I stopped doing the carnivore diet. The aches and pains started creeping back up again. Slowly but surely, I would feel tingling in my wrists. My elbows would start hurting. I would feel something in my ankles. And I don't know what all this was, but I know I didn't feel those things while I was briefly on the carnivore diet. Just the energy fluctuations were crazy. Tiredness, everything started coming back. And so now I'm gonna commit to it, because I saw briefly what it could do, and I see how it's all coming back, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna go for it for long term and see how it goes, and document kind of the whole process, and day by day, month by month, what changes have taken place, how I feel, how it can be sustained. And another reason why I want to try it is because I've read thousands upon tens of thousands, probably at least thousands of comments of people curing their ailments, getting off all their medications, changing their life after living a life of pain and misery for 20 years. And then within months, they feel better. They're off their medications. And I know a few people who are on all sorts of medications and who have all sorts of illnesses that, according to what I've read, would all go away and go into remission if they adopted this diet. So I'm hoping to inspire others and hoping they see that it's not as difficult And especially if you are suffering from chronic pain and you have to be on medications, or you have arthritis or any of these skin rashes, or literally anything, it seems like, you can look it up. There are hundreds of testimonies of all these people who have all gotten better. And I don't think it's a coincidence. So if you're on the fence about trying it, I'd highly recommend it. It's an adjustment at first, but I feel great. Excited to keep going. Pain-free right now. And it's definitely changed my life, that's for sure. Because I can't imagine for 5 months I couldn't do a pull-up. My wrists were absolutely useless. Started off with one and then went to the other. I was incapable of performing everyday tasks. And I haven't quite hit 30 yet. So you can imagine how difficult that would be to provide for your family, not being able to use your wrists. So for me, it was out of desperation, and I'm sure for others it's the same. But if you're still debating about trying it, you're on the fence, you're thinking, oh, I can't do this, it's too hard. What do you have to lose at that point? Like it was for me and others, especially those who are on medication for years and years. What do you have to lose? What's the worst that can happen? They might have excuses like, oh, somebody said meat is bad for you. Well, that person who published the article, who probably has steaks and Beyond Meat, of course they're going to pay for the studies that tell you that meat's bad for you. But all these people who are transforming their lives and have had a 180-degree turn on their entire life after suffering for years and years, you can't argue with that. It works. So I highly recommend, if you're on the fence, I would say try it. Anybody, high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, any of those things. Obviously, if you're on medication, you probably need to ease out of it and work with the specialist or somebody who could guide you through that. But I believe all those people and all those illnesses, they could be off their medication. And I've seen it time and time again. And I can't see why anybody would not try it after hearing all these testimonies of how people's lives have been changed. So I say go for it. It's not that hard. It's worth being pain-free or a couple bites of a donut. The fleeting pleasure of that sugar will never replace the joy of living a pain-free life. There's no price you could put on your health. And if you can improve your health by ditching the junk food, there's no arguments. There's no debate. It just takes willpower and to drop your addictions. And sugar is definitely an addiction, and I was addicted. So I'll say give it a try. Stick around for everything carnivore, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.